Hello dear medicos, welcome to MediConcepts. I am Dr. Akanksha. I am an MD pathologist. MediConcept is a new YouTube initiative to help simplify some of the medical concepts. This is supposed to be a supplementation to your regular classroom teachings and not a replacement. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the first year of MBBS. Now, before I introduce what you're supposed to learn in this first year of MBBS, what is expected out of you, I would like you all to take one moment and think over the question: why are you pursuing MBBS? What is your expectation out of it? What is your ultimate objective? What is your ultimate goal? So take a moment and think about it. आप क्यों बनना चाहते हैं डॉक्टर? Okay, so it could be for a variety of reasons. You're pursuing MBBS to be a doctor. You want to heal patients. You want to do something for the society. Maybe contribute to your particular area. Maybe some doctor you saw at a younger age inspired you. Maybe you have an interest in biology and you felt that this is a good branch for you. Maybe your parents wanted it for you and you were bright enough to crack your NEET exam, and so you're doing MBBS. But whatever be your initial motive, now your objective is to be a doctor. And what do you think a doctor does? He heals patients, he treats people. So treating patient is ultimately your objective. You have to be in a position where you can treat patients' illness, diagnose them, and treat them in a real good way. Get good outcomes. So pursuing MBBS is not about clearing this terminal exam, after this clearing NEET PG or next, whatever it may be, doing a post-graduation, then joining some job, and then going on. The main purpose is to learn about humans, how they function normally, then to understand what goes wrong, that illnesses happen, then to know how to treat those illnesses, and so on and so forth. That is your prime target. So the purpose of this question, when I asked you, was that through your journey of MBBS, MD and further on, never lose sight of this particular long-term goal that you have. Never ever. Every moment stay in sight of this one goal while pursuing different goalposts of pre-terminals, terminals, professionals. Don't forget that they are all just goalposts. None of them are your goals. Your goal is to ultimately treat the patient, and you have to plan your studies accordingly. Remember, it is always you who decide what your ultimate learning objective is to be. Your teachers are just going to set a bare minimum standard कि इतना minimum इसने कर लिया मैं पास कर. But to treat your patient, you have to be your personal best. So that should be your aim, to be your best possible version of doctor. Now with that, let's come to introduction to the first year of MBBS. Now in first year of MBBS, the subjects that you study are primarily three. You have physiology, you have anatomy, and you have biochemistry. Now, biochemistry is all about the different biochemical reactions that occur in human body. We'll get into that later. Coming to physiology. Now before you go to treating a patient, you have to know how a normal human body functions. I think it's the truth. The human body is the most complex creation on this earth. And understanding it is near to impossible. We can just make an attempt to understand it to our best possible version. So, physiology is understanding how your body functions. And anatomy is all about the structure. The structure of different parts of your body, their relation to one another, the structure during embryogenesis that forms a part of your embryology. And physiology is functions of body on a cellular level, on organ level, how organ systems work, how they coordinate amongst themselves, how the entire system is controlled. Now what you need to remember is that functions and structure are complementary. So though you are going to study physiology and anatomy in two different compartments, you have to be in a position to synchronize that knowledge, to process that knowledge together, because it is always complementary. Like arteries, the blood when it flows in arteries, because your heart is pumping, it has that blood pressure to force it against the gravity, or if it is going to lower limb, it is following the gravitational pull. But when we talk about the veins, they are transporting blood, and there is not much of a blood pressure to help them against gravitational pull. So there's going to be a tendency for blood to accumulate down, into your limbs, but it does not. Why? Because they have valves. They have valves, so blood can flow in one direction, but it cannot flow in another direction. So that is how the structure is going to complement its function. Similarly, if you talk about your small intestine, the majority of absorption is going to take place there. Because of that, for absorption you need a real large surface area. Now your body has only a certain amount of space in it. So to increase the area, the lining membrane is going to have lot of villi, then microvilli, there's brush border, and that increases the surface area immensely. So again, the structure is complementing the function. So that is something that you will have to take into account every time that you read the anatomy or you read the physiology, and that is going to help you remember that knowledge. When you can connect two facts together, it becomes logical for you, and when you start forming those connections and brain maps, your mind remembers it better, and you can use that knowledge, apply that knowledge to a different scenario in a very logical fashion. So this was a word about physiology and anatomy. Now biochemistry. Biochemistry is all about the different biochemical reactions that are taking place in your body. Now, as you've already done your biology and chemistry, you know that humans are made up of cells, and again cells are made up of molecules. They're chemicals, atoms, molecules, and there's always a conversion of mass to energy and energy to mass. There are anabolic and catabolic reactions, and these are the reactions that are going to give energy to a living body. I mean, so long your body is capable of having these biochemical reactions, it is alive. It has to be capable, it has to keep building, and it has to keep destroying. So all the different biochemical reactions pertaining, which is a lot, there are 6 components which form your body. There's water, there's proteins, then you have lipids, carbs, vitamins and minerals. Right. So we'll be talking about all these. And then very important, your genetics. So in biochemistry you'll be reading about these two. Now about me, I'll be taking mainly your physiology sections, and I'll be taking only those portions of anatomy and biochemistry which will require direct integration with some portion in physiology. So with that, we'll meet next time. Happy learning, and see you in the next video about introduction to physiology.